Hi everyone, my name is Dima Rain and I will be presenting about Hippocrates and the human skeleton. The father of modern science, Galileo Galilei, mainly known as a Hippocrate, a physicist, astronomer, and engineer. He made clear various findings like the telescope and theories such as the theory of four humors and the theory of fluids, believing in a natural healing process that consisted of a healthy diet, rest, fresh air, and cleanliness. All of, all of this helps keep up and maintain a healthy human body. Influence in defining symptoms, treatments now and then. Scientists made various effective findings in the 1800s in treating disease and preventing illnesses. The germ theory helped test and provide principles like hygiene, treating wounds, and preventing infection to limit the likelihood of infections and spread. Inventions including the electrocardiograph that records electrical activity of the heart over time. Because of this, today we take in consideration of all aspects. Treatments include reviewing work and living conditions, travel while sick, and large urban populations. The theory of four humors. I apologize. Led by Hippocrates, an important development in medical knowledge, believing that the body was made up of four components needed to remain balanced, to maintain and remain healthy. The four humors were liquids within the body such as blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. They believed these were consist with the season of year. Blood is spring, phlegm, winter, yellow bile is summer, black bile is autumn. For example, if the patient had a fever, they came to the conclusion that the person had too much blood in their system. The logic cure was to bleed the patient. The theory of fluids. Ancient Greek thinkers believed that a patient's personality and temperament coincides with the strengths of various fluids. Each are responsible for a particular pattern of personality and susceptibility to disease. For example, blood in excess amount, which was thought to produce happiness and cheerful temperament. Black bile, caused to believe excess, resulted in a depressive temperament. Yellow bile, believed to be responsible in an angry temperament. And last but not least, phlegm, believed to be seen as the basis of a calm temperament. And on this slide, you will see an example of the human skeleton from front view and back view, or also known as anterior and posterior. This is just to give an example of what the body consists of and the names. Skeletal sub and main divisions. The human skeleton is divided into two types of groups, the axile and appendicular. Made up of mainly bones, tendons, and cartilage, the axile consists of 80 bones, your cranium, frontal bone, facial bones, and auditory ossicles. The appendicular consists of 126 bones because it includes the body's appendages, which is the arms and legs. Distinctive skeletal difference between a human and mammal. The characteristics of a human skeleton compared to a mammal skeleton is The human skeleton have only what is defined as an exoskeleton, mainly made up of bones and cartilages. Divided into two groups, the exoskeleton protects the skull and vertebral. The appendicular skeleton protects limbs and girdles that make movement possible. A mammal skeleton, for example, a bird possesses a keel. Humans do not have, which is an extension of the sternum or breastbone. Organisms periodically shed off their exoskeleton while growth, whereas a human skeleton growth stops at maturity and remains going forward to a steady state. Skeletal disorders. The effect of skeletal disorders can vary, depending on genetics or a break in the bone caused by stress or trauma. And here's some examples, like bone cancer, characterized as uncontrollable growth of cells of the bone; tennis elbow, characterized as pain near the lateral aspect of the elbow. You have gout, which involves a painful swelling of the joint that results in the buildup of uric acid crystals that are usually found at the foot of the toe. Depending on the condition and needs, the treatment plan may include surgery, rehabilitation, prosthetics, or other services. Methods of assessment. Methods of assessment of the human body is conducted through a series of tests that include X-ray studies, bone marrow, aspiration, photograph. These techniques help provide essential detailed information to help predict bone behavior and possible disorders. Genetic skeletal disorders. Genetic disorders of the bones and joints are clinically distinct that affect fetal bones as they develop in the uterus. It is the cause of fetal exposure to toxins or infections that interfere with skeletal growth. Some hereditary disorders of the skeleton include Hurler and Marfan, caused by a faulty gene that lacks in digesting sugar, which eventually builds up in the body, causing progressive damage. Marfan most commonly affects the heart, eyes, blood vessels, and skeletal, which supports and anchors your organs. And then here is just an example of, I believe, the thumb. And just to get an overall review on my presentation, also known as Hippocrates, the father of science, it basically focuses on the processes that keep us healthy today, which includes diet, rest, fresh air, cleanliness, hygiene. Basically, Hippocrates treated diseases and prevented illnesses in the 1800s. He is mostly known for discovering medicine and also observing the process of reactions, which included diseases and how they affected the body. He mostly paid attention to detail after treatments or just any signs or symptoms that the body naturally caused. He believed that every illness had an explanation. And a fun fact is that he created the staff of Hermes, aka a symbol of peace, which is described with a stick with two snakes intertwined with wings attached.